Hello, everyone. Happy, last week, week 5 of our Worldview class. So this week's discussion is, what are your insights from the universe next door? And what is one takeaway from the class? And what did you learn from your peers? So I think that the universe next door displays a little more sort of concepts and philosophies within the sort of idea of, or at least my interpretation of worldview, right? We each have a sort of spirit or faith or purpose that we identify with, and that can be religious or otherwise. So I preferred this book over the other just in that I think it kind of talked about sort of a wider worldview, if you will, and sort of just other perspectives outside of Christianity. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do think, in an ideal situation, the world would be a better place if we were more accepting and respecting of others and whatever their belief system is. Now, with that said, I hope that those, versions come with an intent of good. I realize that not all humans act with good intentions. And so I guess maybe that's where, worldview can get complicated. But I think that religion and sort of spirit really serve their maximum purpose for an individual. What my takeaway is from this class is that we each have our own unique version of worldview. And while that may sort of scare people, it doesn't really intimidate me. I think that's what makes kind of our world a beautiful place. Coming from different worldviews, different perspectives, adding that sort of depth and character. And I like to think of the world as kind of one big mural. I think it adds dimension, depth, color, sort of all those images. So if I think of worldview, and what I want out of worldview is just a more open-minded acceptance among our differences. And I think that would really translate into, a more beautiful space for us to live and coexist, especially when we see that religion can often be manipulated or taken out of context. And so that for me is where religion gets really, really tricky, right? I think it's important to have our own faith and our own religion, but it is equally important to be mindful of the the power that religion can have within our interactions in both good and negative ways, right? So hopefully that makes sense. What did I learn from my peers? I mean, exactly what I would expect of a worldview, that we all just come from a different place and a different perspective, and religion and or spirit or beliefs, serve different purposes for each one of us. I think the, important part is that we, again, aren't intimidated, but we learn from other people. I think, honestly, it can enhance our own worldview. And so thanks for the class. It's been fun. I hope everyone has enjoyed it. I would say to our professor, if you have any say in the textbook, philosophy has always been a beautiful thing for me. I think worldview and my concept of worldview comes from a lot of different philosophies. And so it's a shame that it's sort of from such a one direction, especially for an adult class where maybe, younger kids, seek out the university based on it being a religious institution. But I think there was just so much more opportunity for worldview to be looked at in a more universal perspective, and which makes us better healthcare providers, right? By understanding our own worldview in relationship to others. And really, I guess if our one takeaway is that we learn to accept others and work with others through this, then the class is still, purposeful. But yeah, the text, at least the first text, wasn't as desirable, and the second test offered a little bit more. I liked The Universe Next Door better, so maybe we spend more time reading from that versus the other. So with that said, thank you. Have a good week. And we will see everybody on the last two classes. Woo woo! Shout out.